Is this clever privacy or just pretty PU leather with a party trick? The promise is simple. WeMate sells a diary with a 3-digit combo lock, faux leather cover, thick paper, pen, and gift box. The pitch is keep your secrets safe. Reality check time. Business footprint first. The brand is largely a marketplace seller. Play with listings across major platforms, and no verifiable standalone corporate site or public company registration that ties to a physical office you can visit. That usually means imported OEM product slapped with a nice logo. Address or phone number for WeMate leadership is not findable, and there are no named founders to vet. On product claims, the specs are A5 or A6 size, roughly 120 sheets or 240 pages, 100 GSM paper, refillable rings on some versions, and a 3-digit metal lock where the default is 000. That is a cute deterrent for nosy siblings. It is not a security device. Let's keep going. Build and usability are the real test. Shoppers praise the paper and presentation, and the set feels giftable with the included pen and box. That matches expectations for an inexpensive stationery bundle. Early hiccups are familiar. Several buyers struggle with resetting the lock until they remove the safety block and follow the tiny card. Others note the refill mechanism varies by model, which leads to confusion on which inserts actually fit. The theme shows up in multiple reviews over time. The product is fine as a journal, okay as a prop security measure, and occasionally finicky during setup. Outside of retailer pages, journaling communities warn that most diary locks are cosmetic and can be popped or guessed quickly. That is not a WeMate-only problem. It is the category norm at this price. If what you need is a social cue that says, "Please do not read my pages," this fits. If you need real privacy, you will want better hardware or a lockbox. Pricing and equivalence are where the story turns practical. This exact look 3-digit latch with tree motif and PU wrap shows up widely under multiple brands. That screams shared factory tooling. On mainstream marketplaces, you will see the WeMate A5 hitting the mid-teens to mid-20s depending on color and stock, while resellers swing higher. Competing lock journals with virtually identical dimensions and metal latches cluster in the same band. What are you actually buying? Thick enough paper to avoid most bleed-through for ballpoint and gel pens, a refillable or bound block depending on variant, and the aesthetic of a vintage lock. You are not buying tamper resistance. Stack it against alternatives like similar vintage lock journals, and the value is fair when priced under $20. Push past $30 and you are paying for presentation more than substance. For students and gift buyers, the sweet spot is obvious. Keep it cheap, enjoy the vibe, write daily. Now the red flags and the verdict. Lack of an identifiable company behind the brand means you are leaning on the retailer for returns and service. That is acceptable when you purchase from major outlets with clear policies, but it raises risk if you stumble onto a random pop-up storefront mirroring the same photos and copy. Watch for inflated shipping timelines, vague return language, and overpriced clones. Customer patterns show consistent praise for looks and gifting, with recurring notes about the lock not being serious security. That dovetails with long-running community advice that these latches are symbolic more than protective. Legal or safety issues are minimal here, since this is stationary, not a supplement or IPTV box. The risk is disappointment if you believe the lock is private. Verdict is mixed, but leaning legit when bought through reputable retailers. You get a handsome journal with okay paper, a novelty lock, and a nice unboxing at a fair price under $20. Worth the hype or worth the headache? If you want pretty motivation to keep writing, and you are fine with a theatrical lock, then grab it from a major store with easy returns. If you need true privacy, skip the gimmick. Get a lockbox for a plain notebook, or jump to a digital journal with encryption and regular backups.